enormous crypt may be found under Laeken Cemetery. The funeral halls of this tomb extend out in a spooky calm. Although it has never been completely deserted, the crypt has undoubtedly had its fair share of degradation throughout the course of its existence. This has often led to circumstances that are both quite unpleasant and extremely untidy. A cemetery that is both one of the oldest and one of the most significant in Belgium is the Laeken Cemetery. Frequently likened to the Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris, this cemetery is the last resting place of a large number of well-known Belgians, and is adorned with ornate tombs and a wide range of artistic creations. In addition, the cemetery is located in close proximity to the Church of Our Lady of Laeken, which is the physical location of the Royal Crypt of Belgium. This is the location where members of the Belgian royal family are laid to rest. On the other hand, in contrast to the beautiful and well-maintained Royal Crypt, the crypt that is located under Laeken Cemetery has a history that is somewhat more complicated. Underground burial galleries under Laeken Cemetery occupy an area of 1.5 hectares and include corridors that are 300 meters long. These galleries were first opened to the public in the year 1878. Here are the graves of more than 4,000 persons. The 3 primary tunnels that make up the crypt are designed to follow the routes that are seen in the cemetery above. The majority of the graves have a mausoleum that is located above ground, and these mausoleums extend below into the crypt. There is sufficient light to see through, although an eerie half-light that contributes to the crypt's decidedly scary ambiance. The light comes from tiny square windows that are positioned at regular intervals into the ceiling, and may be seen in the passages above. The walls of the calm passageways are lined with vaults, some of which are inhabited while others are unoccupied. The earliest ones were probably erected in the 1880s, while the most current ones were put in place in 1978. Wooden coffins were the first ones to be constructed when the structure was constructed under the cemetery about 150 years ago. On the other hand, they ultimately disintegrated and dissolved within the vaults, which resulted in a revolting odor emanating from inside the structure. Consequently, in order to prevent such distressing occurrences, the cemetery mandated that all crypt burials be carried out using metal coffins, which were commonly constructed of zinc. Over the course of the years that followed, further issues surfaced as a result of instances of exploding casket syndrome. As the corpse within the coffin decomposed, there would be no way for any gas to escape if the casket was totally airtight, or if it had a burper valve that was broken. The accumulation of gases eventually resulted in the creation of such a high level of pressure that resulted in the explosion of some caskets, sometimes with sufficient power to fracture the granite facades of the individual vaults. It was once again the responsibility of the personnel at the cemetery to clean out the crypt, which was a genuinely unpleasant task. During the 1980s, the crypt had deteriorated into a state of disrepair, with cobwebs, rust, and mildew contributing to an atmosphere that was even more unsettling inside its passageways. A number of individuals refer to the vaults as the abandoned crypt of Laeken Cemetery during the 30 years that they were located in a state of near-complete neglect. An intervention was finally made by the municipal administration. As can be seen in this video from 2017, the funeral galleries were ultimately brought back to a more acceptable condition after an expenditure of 4.5 million euros and a restoration operation that lasted for 5 years. Nevertheless, even without all of the cobwebs, a descent into the crypts at Laeken Cemetery is still a little unsettling experience.